to you today from the Southern Legend Outdoors Studio, the Be a Legend podcast, brought to you from SouthernLegendOutdoors.com. And now your hosts, Kevin Bearfield, Kerry Nelson, Ken Butler, and Mark Newell. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. It's your time now. Be a legend.
Okay, welcome to another episode of the Southern Legend Outdoors Be a Legend podcast. We are not coming to you tonight from Pontotoc, Mississippi.
No, not at all.
We are not. We are in Kentucky, Liberty, Kentucky. And we're actually up here on a deer hunt. Got Kerry with me. And we have a couple of guests on the episode tonight. Brother Brian Bridges. Brother Brian's from Alabama. What?
Hartsville, Alabama.
Hartsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
And Brother Cody Tucker from Manatee, Mississippi.
Yep.
Guys, we're glad to have y'all with us tonight.
Good to be here.
Yes, sir. Good to be here.
So Kerry and I flew in here kind of late last night and got here about 5:30. Got us a couple hours of sleep and got a little hunt in this afternoon.
Yep.
And but these guys have been here all week. Got here Monday. Also, we got Eli and Caleb.
Yeah.
I didn't mention that.
What's up?
They've kind of been around us in the past and been on a couple episodes. They're over there at the table. What are you eating? Cereal. We just ate a full buffet. It's like the midnight snack.
Birthday, that's right. Marty's birthday.
All right. Anyway, these guys have already had good hunts. Brother Brian killed a good 7-point. And we've been sitting here tonight watching some video from that. And man, I wish we could show our listeners what we've been able to see tonight. We've had a good time with that.
Oh yeah. We have had some. We've had some fun. Some of us.
At somebody else's expense.
Brother Brian and Eli and Caleb, they got up here on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And they started their hunting on Monday. So, Brother Brian killed a doe Monday morning.
Yep.
That was the size of a normal cow in Mississippi.
She's big.
When she walked into the screen, he had it zoomed all the way out, and she filled the whole screen up.
She's a big girl.
So he films this doe for a
15
good
minutes.
15, 20 minutes of camera time, which that feels like an hour of real time.
Yeah.
Doe standing, I mean, he could have took a jelly bean out of his pocket, throwed it, thumped it, and hit the deer. That's how close the deer was.
And there was a point there that it looked like we actually paused the screen.
Yeah, well,
But the
Eli
deer
got
was
up
actually-
and he hit pause because he thought it was pause, so thought he was
Yeah.
hitting play, but he paused it.
No, it wasn't paused.
Yeah,
it
no,
was just
she
the
just
deer.
paused.
She was
Standing
paused.
there.
She's just standing there.
Not moving.
So
Go
then,
ahead, proceed to
yeah,
finish.
so then she decides to start walking away.
Well, you got to set up because we're actually trying to film all these
Oh yeah,
hunts.
yeah.
So-
Let me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me give the real story then.
Yeah.
Brother Matthew Ramsey is supposed to be on this trip filming Brother Brian,
Yes.
but he wanted to go see his nana. So yeah. So Brother Brian has become. He's a good sport. Brother Brian's a good sport. You know, a lot of times Brother Brian don't. Always hit the target.
Not always.
And so he's a good sport. He took his camera, or he took the camera tripod. He's never done it. Set it up in a blind, and he's trying to get film footage
Yes.
of this doe 15 steps
Maybe. It could be
from the
closer,
blind without spooking her. So he did a great job filming her. The only problem was she then takes a few steps to walk away, and he don't move the camera. After all this filming the doe, he don't get the camera on the doe, but you see his gun barrel come
Right.
up into the camera, and
Yeah.
he shoots.
Yes.
So
Yeah, we
Anyway.
actually see the explosion out of the muzzle.
it's a wonder
That was-
my camera didn't blow up. Yeah,
Kind of like your camera bag did that time.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like my camera bag.
So we've been giving him a hard way to go about that.
Yeah. Thanks, Matthew Ramsey.
Yeah,
I not only can play your bass, I can also work your camera.
I would have liked to seen Brother Brian and Matthew try to get in that blind.
It would have been tight. It would have been tight.
well, just wait till tomorrow when me and Brother Ronnie Bearfield get in our blind.
Yeah, but it was a good hunt.
Yeah, well, you may want to video that. Well, you won't be here, Eli. But
Make sure.
we might would want him to set the
video.
camera up, just
Yeah.
kind of video that. That might be.
And one thing that didn't show is when Brother Caleb and Brother Eli got there, she had went off this
700
foot ravine
drop.
Oh, really?
We
Straight.
got it on video where she
We
went
used-
down and died. And
We
and
used 3 crank straps and about 4 trees.
she was in a ravine.
Really?
Yeah, she
wow.
just didn't fall. So, but I stood back.
She
and-
wasn't dead. She was dead after
She
that.
was dead after
Yeah.
that, and but we hit her well, and she dropped just a long way down.
Wow.
All right.
So we didn't get the shot on camera, but
No.
but the main thing is that we had a deer down.
We had a deer down, well
Got-
over
got
150 pounds. Got meat already back. Thank you, Show Walters. Ain't that
Show Walters.
Show Walters.
61 pounds.
61 pounds of meat off that one doe. And
Wow.
it's a lot of meat. And
Yeah, that was an interesting part of our day as well.
it was.
Getting to go see those guys and their process, and we kind of need something like that back home, don't
We
we?
need to do a podcast down there and explain to everybody as we're trying their free samples what
Yeah.
we're eating. We don't even have to eat lunch tomorrow. Go
No.
down there
Go down there.
and just sample.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
pineapple bratwurst was,
Pineapple bratwurst
yeah, deer bratwurst
was
amazing.
phenomenal.
And
Yeah,
the
it was-
mango
The mango.
is great. And tell them about the was yours deer jerky?
Yeah, yeah, it
See,
was
that's crazy.
venison sticks.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
it was good, really good stuff.
yeah, he gave me one, and then we just kept having to keep pulling them out of the bag. So I ate several of the venison jerkies.
They were good.
They were good.
May
So-
have to go get some more.
So Brother Brian has killed this doe. All right? So let's move on to Tuesday. So back in September, we're up here in a meeting.
We get a snow, by the way.
Snowed that night before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that same night right after we killed the doe.
What would you say? About 3 inches? 2 inches?
2
maybe?
inches probably.
2 inches.
Yeah. Yeah. A little sleep.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no. So we come up here in September to a Bible conference, and we get up here and we go scouting, right? Mm-hmm. So hey, man, y'all get where you want to get and do what you want to do. And take me. I don't even know if I'm on the right property. Be honest with you, the map don't look like it, but they say we are. So I'm figuring I've been put in the very back corner of the property anyway. But hey, there's a cornfield. It's going to be cut by the time I get back up here. Let's put the blind up.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that blind's been up since September. Deer's got used to it. Nobody is even going to be remotely close to that blind before I get there because you can't even go by it. It's the back blind. Oh, no. I get a picture on Monday evening that says, guess where I am? So Doe Slayer here is now in the blind, in my blind.
Yes.
So he don't
Yes.
kill nothing.
No.
So it snows Monday night, and guess where he goes? All day.
All day.
We didn't get there. We woke up at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Didn't get in the stand until about 10:45.
Yes.
10:45 to dark.
I set 7.5 hours.
Yeah. And so he's seen a good 8 point,
Mm-hmm.
and then a smaller buck.
Smaller buck.
And then here comes this doe.
Why didn't you shoot that 8 point?
I was going to. I couldn't get up on it quick enough. He was moving pretty quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He had the reason he didn't shoot the 8 points because he had it in the camera, and that would have messed up the
That
film
would've messed it
footage
all
if he'd
up.
have got the kill shot actually in the camera. So
Yeah.
he was waiting.
And of course, I have to call him after the 8-point runs through. And his first response is, "You shouldn't be filming anyway. Matthew should have been filming."
Yeah.
He said, "Don't let a film
I
ruin,
said, don't-
ruin your hunt or something
No.
like that." And so,
Because there's been several film hunts ruin your hunt. So
yeah.
so anyway, so now this 7 point comes in with a doe,
Oh man, yes.
and Brother Brian has got the camera on it. Although
I didn't zoom.
he didn't zoom, and so if any of y'all are following Brother Brian on Facebook and you see his post about this buck, I have posted that we were waiting on the replay, and I viewed the replay tonight. So after further review, we've been under the hood. There's been a red challenge flag thrown. And after further review, the call on the field stands. It was a kill shot.
Yes.
However, before the shot occurred, there was far sides from the cameraman, Brian Bridges, so I could not identify that deer shot was the deer on the ground. Therefore, we will discard this hunt as the redemption hunt, and so we will have to redo it. So that is the ruling of By His Grace Outdoors on the deer hunt that has occurred out of my blind.
Now let me throw this out to all the listeners. Surely, someone out there listening has the technology that can be shared with Brother Kerry to enlarge or enhance this image a little bit better on his camera. So please contact Brother Kerry so we can put this to rest. And the deer's down. I killed a deer. I've killed 2 deer in 2 days. My biggest deer of my life. I've had the worst 2 seasons because Brother Kerry will rag me until I'm an old man about the.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
10 shots.
Do you have any credibility in the past? Is there any historical?
That's what I'm trying to lay down, is credibility. There are some things in the past that
He said this was redemption year. This is redemption tour.
it is.
So the first deer he shoots, he
You need
films
a
her till
problem.
he shoots her.
Yeah.
He's trying to get redemption and have something on camera where he puts a bullet in a deer. He films a deer 20 minutes and waits till she gets out of the camera to shoot her.
That's
That-
That happened.
That happened.
Then when the buck comes in, there's no zooming in. He shoots and we see a flag running off.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you see is him holding, oh my goodness, what a buck. I don't know if the buck got hit by a car. I don't know.
You know, I doubt it, but it's in the field dead.
There was an Amish man on his tractor.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Amish men on tractors in this
Yes, yes, they are.
area. And
Yeah,
horse and buggies.
But
Brother Brian has killed 2 deer. Is there enough video evidence to call it redemption yet? No.
well, that I believe.
what was the redemption for? I mean,
Well, Brother Brian, if you'll go, by the way, for every listener to Southern Legend Outdoors, please go to By His Grace Outdoors and subscribe for $25 a year for our video cast on this same Podbean that you're listening to. For $25, you can help us take people like Brother Brian, Brother
Very well
Cody, hunting, and you get to see the real hunts and the blooper hunts. But so right now, By His Grace Outdoor, when you get done listening to this, search By His Grace Outdoors, $25 for a year. There's 10 hunts already out there. We'll be putting our November hunt on next week. So
it's worth it just for the one.
yeah, it's worth it for Brother Brian's hunt, and it's really going to be worth it for this year's, because Brother Brian shot 8 times at 7 does, there was still 2 deer in the field when he run out. When he run out of bullets.
That was 3 years ago.
He was digging in his socks. He was digging in his pockets. He looked at me as if I had just brought random shells for his gun. And deer still in the field. It's like after the 4th shot, they quit taking him serious. And they just kept eating.
Look, This is the truth. I literally had, and I've got verification. I had people in churches praying for me for this hunt.
Yeah,
And,
Sunday night, we had special prayer requests for Brother Brian.
Wow.
I told
Wow.
church,
He killed it.
I said, all jokes aside, I said, Brother Brian really doesn't need to kill a buck. I said,
Yeah.
so let's make
And
it a
kill
matter of
the
prayer.
biggest.
killed the biggest
Kill
one
the
so
big.
far.
It's just not enough. It's some video. I'm not going to doubt that there's not some video. It's just not good enough to overturn. Because Brother Brian 3 years ago shot 8 times at 7 deer and missed them, and then last year,
Oh yes.
Brother Brian had the buck of his lifetime
Oh my goodness.
come out broadsided. 15 yards?
Oh my.
Well, about 100 yards. About 100.
Yeah,
about 100
about
yards.
100
I'm sorry.
yards.
That buck was.
Yeah,
Huge.
huge.
That
Standing-
would have been the largest kill you've had on camera to date.
Oh, yes.
correct? By and far.
By and
that,
far.
That buck was huge.
Yeah,
Big.
we normally
Oh my goodness.
we normally take kids, handicapped or disabled. We normally take kids, and so our kill shots are normally their first kills. And so if it's a small buck or if it's a doe, it's hard to film kids in the rut because
Yeah.
deer are moving so fast and so quick. It's hard for disabled with where we hunt and how we hunt. It's just hard. So we don't have a lot of big buck kills, and that's no big deal to us because we're not out there for that. It'd be great to have it. I do have a huge buck that's been missed 3 times on
Twice.
camera. I'm talking about a little kid.
Oh, okay.
And Brother Jeff Harmon's son Jack has missed the same deer 3 different times, and the last time it was 50 yards broadsided. So we have some great footage, but we do not have, we do not have a deer that size
Yeah.
that you missed twice
Yeah.
broadsided.
Yep. Yep.
Matter of fact, let me
He
just tell.
turned around. That was a crazy deal, brother.
Well, he got a text message from them does, and they said, "Hey, man, you ain't got to worry about that. That's Brother Brian up there, man." He said, "Well, you got to be
He
kidding me."
shoots at that deer, and that deer runs out
Another
60
100,
yards?
Yeah,
Yeah.
60, 70, 80, 100 yards.
and
something like that.
turns around and looks at you
Yeah, like
and poses
like dares me to
like
shoot him.
a second shot. Like
Yeah.
there's your redemption.
Well,
that was your redemption.
It was. But what people don't understand, they only see the video. They don't understand being in the shooting house with Kerry Nelson. It is pressure. I mean, it is a pressure. Jack, I understand, son, why you have missed that deer 3 times, because I can only imagine. Brother Kerry was in the shooting house with you, most likely.
Is it because of the video or?
I think it has a little bit to do with it. It has a little bit to do with him being in your ear and
All right, I'm going to stop right there because this last buck, we get. All right, here it is. Now you got to hear this because this is how it happened. So we're getting in there at daylight. It's dark. Brother Brian's going to go first. Now, for anybody that's listening to this,
Yeah.
Brother Brian Bridges has lost 130 pounds.
Yes.
And everybody in the house,
Yeah.
we give him an ovation because he's worked hard
Amen.
and all this. So I just want to say that this hunt was prior to this 130-pound losing.
yes, it was.
Now, we're not going to disclose the actual weight of this hunt.
No.
But I will tell you this: he climbs up in this shooting house, and the door is just not for him,
No.
right?
No, it's not.
So he's trying to turn, he's trying to squeeze, he's trying to pull.
I need some Crisco to get through.
I'm on the ground, and this thing's what, 8-10 foot?
It
I mean,
is
it's
high.
way up
Yeah,
there.
it's high.
So
You
he's.
can get in.
I'm on the
Okay.
ground. I got my headlight. I'm shining it on his backside. He's squirming up there, and I'm like, "Hey, what's the deal?" And he said, "I can't get in the door." And I said, "Well, just fall in it," because I didn't want him falling back on me.
Yeah.
He falls. This is a true story. Now.
One like you were gonna catch him if you
No,
did.
no. If I saw him in the light, I was gone. All right, now you verify what I'm going to tell you right here.
verified.
This happened. It's coming daylight.
Yeah.
He falls in, just leans into the shooting house, knocks a a little gas tank off the shelf. It falls and dings. It sounds like machine shop going through the woods, and immediately the feeder goes off.
Yep.
Immediately. Now, for everybody listening, last year, this was before they banned us from feeding. And so the feeder goes off. It sounded like that they meant that it all went together.
Yep.
It got back quiet again, and I said, "What are you doing?" I hear him going, I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I got a cramp. I got a cramp." So all of this is happening. Now think about this. All of this is happening getting in the stand. So he's left-handed.
Yeah.
He don't think about it. I don't think about
Nope.
it. All right. He gets in and he goes to the left. It's a round shooting house. So when the deer did come out, he couldn't get up on it because he's over in the corner. And he comes over and literally sits in my lap. He is leaned over in my lap. I'll be honest with you, I felt a little uncomfortable for a moment.
Yeah.
And we're in the dark, and he's over in my lap, and he's all squished up on me.
You're fussing at me.
And then out of the blue, because this buck has stepped out at 100 yards after all this commotion. The buck steps out, and here's what I hear him say. Hey, I think it's a doe.
I thought it
I
was.
said, my goodness, it ain't. I'm looking at it, horns shining, and it's at
Couldn't see
daylight
it.
because it's getting. Come to find out, he's got some scope on here that he can't see in the broad daylight, and we got the buck of a lifetime out there, and he's arguing with me that it's a doe.
I was.
And about that time, that dude turned, and he went, "Oh, I see him, I see him, I see him."
Yeah, I saw him then.
And so all of that happened prior to the first miss.
Yep.
He shoots, throws dirt right on top of the deer. Deer runs up the hill, turns around broadsided, looks back at him. He shoots again, blows dirt up. He's gone. So he shot 10 times on camera at 8 deer and no kill.
Nothing.
Now he shot 12 times at 10 deer, and we've got 2 deer. They're both being processed right now. We got
one
2
of them's
deer.
processed on the
But we got the deer.
got
We
2
just
deer.
don't have
The
the
proof.
actual proof. We saw a rifle, and we heard a boom, and then we saw video of a dead deer. But I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to take Eli's word for it because Eli was there and Caleb was there.
I did see 2 bullet holes.
He did.
Didn't look like a bunker.
No,
No,
didn't look
okay.
like it.
All right.
And he did hit them perfect.
North
Yeah.
Bush off.
And see, that's what I can't understand. Same gun, same gun. Yeah, no bush hog, nothing. I mean,
He said no bush hogs.
Nor horse hooves.
no, none of that. It was deer. And matter of fact, the buck's the biggest deer in my life I've ever killed.
That's
And,
awesome.
Look, it was a great 7-point, 11-inch spread. It was phenomenal.
Let me correct you. It was 17 and a half. 17 and a half. You can go to By His Grace Outdoors Facebook
Yes,
or
you can.
It was
website.
17 and a
Beautiful
half.
little bread basket.
Both,
Yeah.
both time lengths combined, 17. Listen, for a man that misses all the time, any deer is a great deer.
Any deer is a great deer. And I know there's no proof for this, but even when I missed the big buck last year, I did kill 7 deer last year. So, I mean,
Here's the thing. The day before he missed the big buck, he killed a doe.
I killed a doe.
The day before. But he was in a revival, and they don't have no camera equipment.
Well,
Nobody filmed it.
So we're just going to chalk this up to the pressure.
Well,
The pressure with Kerry.
I think it has to come with that. I think
Because he's not been there when the kills have actually occurred.
Well,
That's the common denominator.
it really is right now. And that's where I'm logging it up to, that the pressure that, I think Eli could probably relate with it, a lot. He may not say nothing right now because tomorrow's his birthday and he wants birthday presents. But I think, and I'm just joking with him because I love the pressure. I love being in the shooting house, Brother Kerry. I love being around all this because it is.
I didn't feel it today.
No, because they didn't nothing come. They wouldn't even a bird come out. I mean, ain't no pressure on
You
that.
know why? They were scared I was going to shoot because I would drop them. That's why the deer.
I didn't feel the pressure before.
You was-
Oh, you
was
mean y'all
calm,
together?
wasn't
That's
Yeah.
because you were asleep. We got pictures of it.
No,
Yeah. We all got pictures
But you
of
see
it.
the last
no,
picture.
no. I was praying. Because I had to sit there for 3 hours and not seen anything.
I
So I went to the
did
Lord
hear
in
you
prayer.
grunt though across the holler. I could hear
I
you. Grunt.
was
You were
grunting.
grunting really well too.
Speaking of
with a
that,
preacher man,
Preacher Man,
with
Jody
a
Harrison,
preacher man, Jody Harrison, signature
Grunt.
Grunt call.
grunt call.
Yeah.
Yes, sir,
Got one in
buddy.
my bag.
The best.
Got one in my bag. Love it.
The best. Shout out to Brother Jody Harrison on that. But yeah, I wasn't sleeping. I was praying,
Praying.
and I didn't
He
feel
was
no
speaking
pressure,
in an
brother.
unknown snore.
And what you got to get is something called ice in your veins.
Oh, you're right. I
That's
do.
what you got to get, brother.
Toby
do.
had it.
I do.
Apparently, he's got it. He's shot twice since he's been up there and killed 2 deer.
He
I
does.
really think the thing that really helped is he's got better equipment. Bottom line.
I showed
Well,
all
no,
that
but what
equipment
were you
out
going
there.
to? You were going to say
The
something
exact-
about that same gun.
Well, it's same gun, same scope.
The
What kind of
exact-
scope is it?
And it's a Barska, illuminated Barska scope that was given to me by some men in my church. And
What caliber gun were you shooting?
it's a Thompson Center 308. Yeah, great gun.
Yeah.
Love it.
What, Eli?
The exact words that come out of Daddy's mouth after he missed that buck was, "What kind of scope do you have?"
Yeah,
That was not a doe.
You had your resolution turned all the way up, didn't you?
I did.
Now, that's not the first time that's ever happened.
That's not the first time.
Brother Brian called me. He was in the hunting club in Marion County. And he said, "Oh, Brother Cody," he said, "I just missed a ginormous deer." I said, "What happened?" He was walking out a pine thicket.
Walking out Pine Thicket.
It was 50 to 60 yards from
Yep.
him.
He come running up the hill at a doe.
And he stood still
Yeah.
long enough for you to miss. How many times?
I didn't actually shoot
Oh,
at
you
him.
didn't. That's right.
No, I couldn't get him in the scope
That's right.
because my resolution. I
He
had
had his
turned my
resolution
resolution up,
turned
and
all the way
I
up to
forgot to
12,
turn
and
it
he
back
couldn't.
down.
You
But
mean your
the-
power? Is that what you were already? Your power was all the way up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Try to pull it closer.
Yeah, I got you. I see.
And so,
Yeah.
but
How long did he stand there?
he stood there at least 10 seconds. At least 10 seconds. Yeah, he was a nice deer, and but you live and learn. And matter of fact,
You learn a lot.
one of the men in my church made this statement. He said, "I think the reason you've killed these 2 deer is because you've dropped 130 pounds." He said, "You're shooting better now that you look thinner," and that could be it. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you this: you fit better in the shooting house,
Oh, I agree with
so
that.
you got more room.
I got more room.
Yeah,
more,
when
I'm
me and you
more
get in that
mobile.
little one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting more mobile. So I mean, so it's a learning process. I'm having a good time learning.
We are.
We've had
all
we are.
jokes aside, we
we've
are
had
proud
fun
of it.
at your expense.
And
tonight.
I'm good. I can take it.
Thank you, brother.
I
You got
got
meat in the freezer, don't you?
I got meat in the
Yeah,
freezer.
horns on the wall.
Horns on the wall. And Mr. Bart Whitman, Mr. Bart out of Alabama, thank you. It's headed over to Mr. Bart here, and he's going to reconstruct my buck for me.
Awesome.
And the reason he's having to reconstruct it is because we're not going to break the law by carrying the deer across state lines, because of the CWD.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Right.
So we just got it sculled out. He's going to order me Kentucky hide, and he's going to, sculpt it all back the way it's
Well,
supposed to.
good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's great. I'm loving it. Loving it.
We were talking about Dale. I was asking if you were going to get it mounted. I said, man, I would.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
I'm glad you
the
are.
biggest one of my life so far. I got
Man,
one that
that's
I killed
awesome,
down in
bro.
Belk, Alabama. That's a good deer, but nothing like this. So,
Going in the church office,
yeah.
so when I come,
Yeah.
we can reminisce about the buck
About the buck.
that got filmed,
Yep.
sort of.
And I believe someone's going to produce some kind of technology that's going to help you enhance that to
Yeah.
where we can.
Well, it'll probably be after I upload it to the podcast.
Well, I think it would probably silly to do that. I think you would wait. I think
Okay.
somebody. Matter of fact, probably somebody will be contacting you probably next day or two. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I mean, we have had fun at your expense tonight, brother, but we have to all admit, no one has had the success that you've had on this hunting trip. So, I mean, we can't really
Thankful
say
for it.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah,
been the man.
Thankful. I appreciate it. It's been great to finally be the man.
And Eli killed a deer.
Eli
Yeah.
killed a doe.
Eli
Yeah.
killed a doe. Only issue
Yeah.
with that is,
Before and after was on film.
yeah, before the doe died and after the doe died, and in the middle of that, I think Caleb woke up. I realize now why he jumped,
Sleep.
because he'd been snoozing up there in that tree, and he jumped. That's what it was. So
Caleb got a good
we haven't.
42 hours of sleep this
You,
week.
you got anything you want to say to that, bro?
It doesn't help when it's about 25 degrees and you're already
It's
shaking.
cold.
I know, but I don't have any kill shots on film.
Shout out to Corey Ross for the 300 Win Mag. Put the hurting on that dude.
I mean,
She didn't even fly.
but it was what, a whole 12 yards away.
At the most.
The limb I cut down from my tree, I could have tapped her on the head with it.
It was right on the button.
I almost had to stand up to shoot it.
The
It was that
shot
far.
gutted her.
Yeah.
I mean, just gone.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful.
But hey, Kentucky hunting. We've been wanting to do that, and here we
Yeah.
are. Brother Ronnie's on his way up here tonight to get
Yeah.
a couple days in before the gun season goes out, and so
Yep.
we're excited. We've had as much fun just hanging out,
Yeah.
and Southern Legend Outdoors, be a legend. This is, I mean, my baby's turning 20 tomorrow.
Wow.
And these memories are fading fast,
Yeah.
as far as that can be made.
Yep.
And his life will take turns, quick turns. And so if you're listening out there, and you got a young son, young daughter, get them outdoors and make these memories.
Yeah.
And hey, if you gotta pay some extra and take some extra time to take them out of state, the memories will never be. They'll never be something that you regret. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I think we take for granted, we were talking about that earlier today, and we get so caught up in, and I mean, we're all in this room and you guys are preachers, but you've also got other things going on in your life. And we get so caught up in maybe whatever it is, your ministry or our work. And even if we do go hunting at home, it's like I said, as soon as I get back from the hunt, I've got X amount of emails waiting, or I've got all these things going on. You guys probably have things, pertaining to your ministry, your church that you're having to attend to. And you get an opportunity to get away like this, it can really help you just relax and not be pulled in a million different directions.
Really nice.
And a chance to get away and enjoy really ultimately God's creation. And we just take it for granted, maybe when we're here, that it's a great opportunity to reflect really on God's blessings and His goodness and everything that He's done for us, and to give us an opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
Well, and it's it's just like, well, we're sitting here right now in Kentucky. There's snow on the ground, crisp winter air. We got a fire in the fireplace.
Yeah.
Trying to describe this to you. We're all sitting around here, some on the floor, some on the hearth, some on the couch, and we're sitting around here talking. By the way, shout out to Horse and Buggy Cabins,
Yeah.
Mr. and Ms. Martin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becky. We contacted Becky back in September and set this up, and so this is a great place. If you're ever coming through Liberty, Kentucky, look up the Horse and Buggy cabin rental, and Becky Martin will fix you up, and you won't be disappointed. I promise you, with the housing of it and the comfort of it and the view is great. But anyway, it's just
Talk about the restaurant, that bread of
oh
life.
yeah, the Bread of Life
Man.
restaurant. They have a ministry, and I don't want to say anything out of line and not be true, but I know they've been involved in a lot of adoptions
Yeah.
over the years. But they've got a school. They got all kind of things going on, but they fund it through the Bread of Life restaurant, and that Bread of Life was tremendous tonight. That buffet was $8.99.
Yeah.
$8.99.
Yeah.
Salad bar, dessert bar.
It was
And we're not
good.
talking about processed stuff that
No,
you get in
no.
the 1972
Home
cafeteria
Home
in
cooked.
Pontotoc, Mississippi. No. We talking about some good cooking.
Yep.
$8.99. Got a country store.
Yep.
You can buy product and very clean place, very neat place. So shout out to the Martins and all they're doing and the ministry that they're in. So
I think we got a shout out also to Jimmy Perkins and Zach Lawson. They help keep our spots going for us.
Yep.
With Jimmy getting the land and helping work with our lease person and keeping our spots cambered up and
Alum Springs Baptist
Allen
Church.
Springs Baptist
If you're
Church.
in the no, what's
Danville,
that?
Danville,
Kentucky area.
Sweetest folks you ever
Go
meet.
by there and
Yeah.
tell them Southern Legend Outdoors sent you by.
There you go. There you go. And, been
Brother
great.
Brian, y'all been coming up here for this is actually my first year in this club with you guys, but you guys been and Brother Cody as well. Y'all been coming up here for several years. now.
Several years. I started preaching. But Jimmy's is a preacher out from under me when I was in Georgia. That's now been pastoring up here for 10 years, and I started preaching revival for him in December. And we would always hunt on his property in December. It would be like bow hunting or something like that. And then it's been about 4 years ago, we started leasing. We come up here and was in a little lease up the road, and then we got this lease we're on now. Brother Cody, is that right?
Yeah.
And it's been we've been coming a few years, and
Yeah.
we really enjoy it. Really enjoy being around Brother Jimmy, Brother Zach, and
Yeah.
it's been real nice to fellowship with them all the time. So yeah, it's been good.
Well, we appreciate you guys letting us in
Hey,
on
we're glad you're here.
the hunt this year.
Hope it many more years to come.
Yep.
And we can enjoy it together.
And we're looking forward to turkey season as well. We'll
Yes.
all be back up here
Yes.
during turkey season. So
Yeah.
the turkey hunting here is really good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's great.
That's Cody's passion.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Eli's passion. After 2 days of hunting up here, he's over deer season. We ain't even started in Mississippi yet. And he's ready to turkey hunt.
Yeah, he's
So-
got a turkey on his mind.
But when you go deer hunting and you see or hear 40 turkey, we had some brother Josh Sparks in hunting in some property. I own some property back with By His Grace Outdoors Minister today. They sit there and watch 50 turkey. So when you're deer hunting and you're watching that many turkey, it can't help but get you into turkey
Yeah.
fever.
And you guys saw some turkey today.
Yeah, I seen probably 30. I was covered up. You know, one thing I really wish the Lord would have done for a buck, I wish they gobbled. Like, I mean, when they got tore up, I wish they just hammered. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be frosty, sitting in your deer stand. And, I mean, you hear a buck over a holler. You can get at your bleak call. That sun gonna come running up. Just wouldn't it not be so good?
That'd be great. That'd be great.
I wish they did.
Yeah.
Well,
Or at least bugle. Like,
I had never thought about it.
That's pretty good.
It's never crossed my mind.
I wish they would. Man.
Yeah, I really like the thought as you were saying that. I was kind of envisioning, and I could just see my, and running up to the stand.
Because you have no idea where he's at when you get there. You know, it's just a waiting game, really.
Yeah,
But not if he gobbled.
yeah. If he'd gobble
He'd let you know.
or even respond to a grunt.
Yeah.
yeah,
We.
yeah. You know, everywhere's different. You know, we talk about outdoors, but a lot of places are different. You know, you will hear some vocalization. You'll see a lot of chasing, and of course, you know, where we're from, sometimes that's very limited. And you know, and that just goes to show you how, even though it's all white-tailed deer, it's all different.
Yeah.
You know, hunting in Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky. I've hunted in Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just different. And I know
It's almost like they're a different species.
Really
completely.
are.
I mean,
really are. And
I've said that even in Mississippi, the difference in our Delta whitetail versus our hill country whitetail, it's like a totally different animal.
that's like Alabama. You know, South Alabama, their rut always seems to fall, November, 1st of December, where Marion County, our rut doesn't fall till January, and now our season stretches all the way to February 10th. I've seen bucks actually chasing does in the 1st of March
Wow.
That's
across the
crazy.
field. So, it's actually a wide range, and you come up here in November, and they're
Yeah.
close or in or not in. So
Yeah, and it works out good for us because it's a good time for us to come up and hunt because action's really not gotten that good back home yet. I mean, we've got seasons open, but we're not seeing a lot of buck action right now. The bucks are still running together, and you just they're always going to be those guys that are going to kind of get lucky that opening weekend, but things kind of quieten down. This is kind of the lull of our season, and then hopefully in 3 or 4 weeks we'll start seeing some of that pre-rut action. And
yep, ready for it too.
but yeah, it's awesome. Well, we are looking forward to the rest of the hunt. Unfortunately, Brother Brian and Eli, they're headed home tomorrow, and
Yeah,
it's kind of wrapped up for them here. And Kerry is going to hang around for a couple of more days, and my dad again is coming in tonight. He's going to get in a couple of days, and then
good.
Brother Cody and I are staying and be hunting for a few more days. So should be a lot of fun. And
Hey, we got our disabled hunt coming up a week
a
week from this weekend.
Yeah.
They'll come in on Friday. Our adult season opens the 23rd,
Yep.
and so we've got 7 lined up this year.
Good.
It's going to be going,
That's awesome.
and so it's always good to be able to do that. And we'll have a big meal on Friday night, and just everybody come in, just get to know one another, hang out, and then Saturday we'll go that morning, and then break for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Take them back in that evening, have
You
supper.
got guys coming in from a lot of different places. Don't
Got
you,
people
for that?
coming in all over the state of Mississippi, and I've got one young man that's coming in from up around Knoxville, Tennessee this year that I actually met while I was in Sevierville at the Tanger Outlet. And he reminded me of my son-in-law, and his wife reminded me of my daughter, Lakin and Dylan. And he was in a wheelchair and pushing himself around, and I just kept watching him. And Michelle finally said, "You might as well go over and talk to him. You know you want to."
Mm-hmm.
And he turned in front of me, and I just stopped him, and I told him about our ministry. And I said, "I don't know if you like hunting or not, and I don't know where you're from, but if you can get to Mississippi, I'll take you hunting." And he looked at me, and he said, "That's why I'm in this chair." He had fell out of a tree 2 years ago and shattered his T9 and T7.
Wow.
And so he said, "I love hunting." He said, "My passion was turkey hunting." And he said, "But we ain't figured out how to get me in the turkey woods." I said, "Well, you've just met a man that can get you in the turkey woods.
Yep.
We'll get you." And I showed him the video of James Sutton sucking on the tube, killing a turkey,
Mm-hmm.
and he got excited. So him and his buddies coming and be with us that weekend,
That'll be
and
awesome.
then he's going to come back in the spring and turkey hunt with us.
That's great.
Wow.
And that's why you need to go subscribe to By His Grace
Yeah.
Outdoors and help us.
Got it.
So
I was just about to say that
yeah,
when you
'cause
wrapped
we
up.
put- that's what
I
we do
know,
with it.
I know you're promoting it, but I want to promote it and say to everyone, I know it's one thing for a man to say it, but I know the effort, the resources, the financial components that go along with this that Brother Kerry gives out of his own pocket, and there is no revenue.
No.
These
No.
guys are not
None.
coming in this weekend and paying him for his
No.
time. They're not paying him for all of the work that's been done to set this up, the equipment that's involved, the people,
The
the
food.
camera,
The food.
the having to film this, putting then all the videos together. I mean, even if you don't like videos, if you're not into that thing, go out there and subscribe to it to contribute to the ministry. Because I can promise you what you're putting into it, I already know. He's not making any money off of this, but it goes right back into the ministry, and so we need to support.
And we want to take as many as we can. That's the
Yeah.
push. It's not to get it and hoard it.
Yeah.
It's to add it to what we're doing and get them out there. It is. Brother Brian helped me last year, and Eli and Caleb helped me. It's amazing when that we had a couple guys that came in. One had both his legs had been amputated, and Nick came in, and I mean, just man, he just was in awe that that we would do this, and so he began to talk, and he began to share about how that nobody does this. You know, you about have to be drawn or be recommended or win a hunt for a disabled hunt to get in with somebody to take you.
Right.
And that's what they were talking about. And so another young man was there, and he just said to me, he said, "You gonna do this every year?" And I said, "Well, yeah, we hope to." He said, "Man, we have nowhere to do this." So it's just amazing, just that one day. And you know what? Nobody killed anything. Now, Nick could have killed a couple does, but he said he wanted a buck. And then several others could have got a shot and killed. I had one on our disabled hunt that shot at a wild hog, and but it was nothing about the kill.
Yeah.
It was the fact that somebody helped him get outdoors and do something that they love to do.
Yeah.
And so, anyway,
Well, that's awesome.
we're glad to do it.
Can I bring up a different subject real
Sure.
quick?
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all think about Georgia and Auburn. I mean, I know y'all talk about this. while
That's
we're
true.
on-
It's a big weekend.
It is.
I'm a Georgia fan. Y'all, I mean, I am a diehard Georgia fan.
Oh, Georgia's going to beat Auburn.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Especially the one game I have been able to watch Auburn was when they played Ole Miss, and Auburn's been that up and down team this year.
All year long.
At times they've looked really good, and at times they've looked very mediocre.
Yeah.
So if I'm picking Georgia.
And as a Georgia fan, you know, you want Georgia's kind of been slow coming out of the gate.
Yeah.
You know, they of course they did lose to South Carolina by 3, and they've had some good wins, but it's been and I believe they're going to have to really turn it up. Kirby Smart's really going to have to, you know, put his foot on them, and of course Jake Fromm to me is one of the best quarterbacks in the nation.
Yeah.
And he's a great game manager. But
It's a little bit of a rival game there too.
It
right?
is.
I
It's
mean,
always been.
Auburn, Georgia's kind of got a little out of or border state rivalry
they
going.
do.
But Georgia's hit number 4, and they're going to play.
Yeah.
They'll play better than they played all year. They're not going to mess this up. Not with
I
Auburn.
don't think so.
Now, what happens with LSU in the championship game, we'll just have to see.
That's a whole
But
different
they're
story.
not going to mess up number 4 this weekend. What about Alabama, Mississippi State? We got an Alabama fan, and I didn't bring that up because we're anti-Mississippi State.
Oh.
Goodness.
But Brother Cody's is an Alabama fan. So we're not asking you if you're going to win. We'd like to know how much are you going to win.
Yeah, just make a prediction.
I would say by at least 3 touchdowns.
At least.
But as an Alabama fan, I would love to see Auburn hammer Georgia.
Well, sure, that's the only way
course
you're
you would.
getting in.
We've
And
got to
yeah.
do
And
it.
we're not going to
Yeah.
talk about that because a man that don't win his division cannot play in no championship. That's absurd. That's crazy. Anyway,
And I
You
think
want to comment back on that? I mean, technically, if Auburn wins, though, I mean,
oh, you better know it.
yeah,
Alabama's.
I mean,
and I would assume you're also hoping that Ole Miss could slip up and beat LSU this weekend.
Yeah, but nobody's beating them, I think.
Yeah, and
They got
let me
Ole
just
Miss
tell you,
and
we
A&M
ain't beating them
and
either.
Arkansas left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think
us
so.
and Arkansas combined with Mississippi State ain't beating them.
I think Alabama's going to come out and make a point after last week with Mississippi State, though. I think it's going to be pretty embarrassing.
And I hope you are right. Florida, Missouri. This is no. This is Kevin's favorite pick right here.
Oh, you know.
Him and Dan Mullen, they go way back, boy.
You know.
Florida will beat Missouri 4 touchdowns.
Missouri.
I think it's going to be close.
Could be a great
Missouri.
game.
They just got shut out last weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, by Georgia.
What am I talking about?
Yeah.
What was Georgia?
Huh?
They also got
Just
beat
an
the
idiot.
I'm not an idiot. They did
No,
get shut
I
out.
said he's an idiot.
Oh, I thought you called me an
Dan
idiot.
Mullen, look, I
Oh,
mean, just his reaction, even in that game, he's not coaching. He's reactionary. You saw him, the whole thing of him jumping on his coaches. I mean, it's just
he's drama.
he's drama. I give the guy credit. He can apparently recruit. The jury's still out on that as far as can he do that and sustain at Florida. He's riding on another man's talent right now still. So we'll see 3-4 years down the road what that program looks like. But I hope he loses every game he coaches for the rest of his life. I hope the man has to go home and retire and play bingo every Friday night. and I hope that when that happens, he
Somebody
gets
beats him
beat
at bingo.
by every old woman in the state of Florida or wherever he retires to in bingo. I hope he doesn't even get a B
So, Brother
in
Ken,
bingo.
what you're saying, you really don't like Dan Mullen.
No.
I think he's a
Hey.
complete yeah.
Hey.
He's got a number 1 on his prayer list.
I'll defer to letting your imagination run as if I were Donald Trump, and
Oh, my goodness.
that's how I feel about.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
Donald Trump feels about the media and the Democrats, I feel very much
Fake
the same
news.
about.
Fake.
Yeah,
Fake
he's
coach.
a fake coach.
Fake coach.
Fake coach.
Missouri by 20.
Kentucky, Vanderbilt. Not that we care, but we're in Kentucky.
Oh,
Who
Kentucky.
cares?
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky.
Hey, go Big Blue.
Yeah.
I was thinking
And
that.
speaking of Big Blue, while we're in Kentucky, and let me say this to you. They just had their Bible conference at Unity. Your crowd comes in yearly, every year, because you've done beat up on everybody, crowing. Well, y'all didn't come in crowing this year, and so that's why they had such a moving of the Holy Ghost in the meeting.
Oh.
But wait a minute. We are in Kentucky. We cannot bypass the fact that Evansville just upset number 1 Kentucky in basketball. I mean, now come on now.
What in the
How do
world?
you become number 1 and you get beat by Evansville? Is there a real school named Evansville?
I think they're
Yeah.
online.
Yeah. They're Evansville.
It's a school online.
Online to Evansville, Indiana. Ain't
Hey,
there?
I
I'll tell you
don't know,
something
man.
about that game. I watched a good bit of that. They got out coached. Calipari didn't know what was happening at the end of the game. He
Wow.
was so frustrated, and they got outplayed and outcoached. That's why they won. I mean,
There's nothing about that loss that's good. People
No,
say, boy,
no,
that
I
right
would
there is
agree.
going to make us. No, it's
No,
not.
it's-
We're going to
it's
laugh
not
at
good.
you if you win that championship, but you got beat by
Yeah,
Evansville.
Evansville.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
South Carolina, Texas A&M.
Oh, Texas A&M.
Yeah. A&M.
They're,
And it's
they're,
at
they're playing
A&M.
better.
Yeah.
They're
It's
playing
at
better.
A&M.
The 11th man.
All right, here we go.
12th man. Start.
No, the 11th. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
He's used to watching arena football.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's used to.
He's a Georgia fan.
Hey, if you'd have said the 15th man, we'd have known you'd been watching Alabama football. Anyway, we're not going there.
Yeah.
I love Brother Cody. LSU at Oxford, Mississippi. Kevin, what you got?
LSU.
All right, Caleb, what you got?
I guess I'll go on this.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Eli, what you got?
true fan.
We are not going to cross the 50. LSU by at least 45
We're not going to
Whoa.
cross
at least.
the 30.
Come on.
LSU, but Ole Miss probably needs to put some eye drops in LSU's water. Get them sick. Something like that next time we go.
Hey, that is a very anyway. Can you tell her in there? Go ahead.
I'm going LSU, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to say the defense will score 3 times. The
LSU's defense.
on turnover. No,
It
you
ain't,
don't.
it ain't gonna be because we threw it to them.
No, well,
we don't throw it.
no,
by
you
like
don't throw it,
5
but
times.
All right, hey.
I'm going to make a bold. Well,
Well, I got to make my prediction.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let's hear your.
I'm an Ole Miss fan, and I'm a realist. Eli, if we're good, we're good. If we're bad, we're bad.
Right.
And I really think
Here we go.
that Ole Miss is on the verge
Here we
of
go.
competing, not dominating, but competing. And we've lost
Well, they've already
games.
done that. They
We've
competed
lost
at Auburn.
games, but I'm talking about consistent competing.
Yeah, I
I
know
think
what
we're
you
back
mean.
on the verge, and we're doing it with true freshmen. True freshmen are lighting up the record books
Yeah.
right now. That may not be the style of offense, and everybody's wanting us to throw it because we've been wide receiver U. Well, we're not wide receiver U right now. We got a
No,
quarterback
that can
that
throw.
is quicker than a hiccup.
Yeah.
All right, and so I personally say this: that LSU is going to win, but they're going to have to pull away in the fourth. Ole Miss, Plumlee, they're going to turn him loose this weekend, and he's going to have 200 yards passing and 200 yards rushing.
Wow.
wow.
That's bold. I wasn't going to go that bold.
He's coming out.
But I
It's the
was,
coming out
I
part.
was going to say I do believe it will be, I think it'll be closer than what Vegas is given. I would probably put my on the over under if I was a betting man. I'd probably go with Ole Miss because I just think that.
Yeah. Oh, they're still celebrating.
Yeah,
And they got
are.
players
And-
that's not playing.
and they're
Got in trouble.
as of last week.
Smoke a little dope.
The next game that they're looking at is Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know that is that they have jumped the hurdle of the season by beating Alabama. That was the game. They looked all
'Cause they just
season to
got
that game.
Arkansas and A&M left. After
Yeah,
us.
I mean,
If that's all you had left, you'd be looking at Atlanta too.
so I mean, I think seeing what I wouldn't have gone along with you other than seeing what Ole Miss did at Auburn and what they did at
With
Auburn.
a quality defense.
You got to give them some respect.
I agree.
That they're coming along. They're an improving team. I mean, look, let's go to the Alabama game. Ole Miss scored 30 something at against Alabama.
Yeah.
So I mean, the offense is there. I don't know. 200 yards passing is strong.
Name me two quarterbacks that have led Alabama after the first quarter. Go.
Say what?
Plumlee
Plumlee
and Burrow.
and Burrow.
There you go.
Plumlee and Burrow. So listen,
There you go.
just saying.
Since we're talking about quarterbacks, if Matt Corral's listening to this, please transfer. We don't want you at Ole Miss.
I'll amen that.
Thank you.
I got you on that.
Well, here's the thing.
Back to
If Rich
California.
Rod stays at Ole Miss, he can't play at Ole Miss. He can be good anywhere he goes, ain't no doubt about that. But he's not going to be good in that offense. And Plumlee is because he's going to. That quarterback's got to be able to run. And here's an interesting stat. Let me give you this now. People don't even like it because I'm an Ole Miss fan, but I'm going to give you a Mississippi State stat. The greatest running quarterback in the history of FCC is who?
Tim Tebow.
Fitzgerald. He passed Dak,
Yeah.
and he passed Tebow
Yeah.
his senior year. Guess who's on pace to outdo that record in his freshman year? Plumlee.
Yeah.
So let's just
And-
think about
and-
that.
and
That's just a
also-
different
and
offense
it-
we're running right now.
And let's say this: had he played the whole season,
Oh, yeah.
he would have already surpassed
And
that.
we'd be bowl eligible.
We're talking about a man who came in the fourth game of the season, third
Third game.
game
At the,
of the season,
At
he
the
only
end of the-
played a
he-
possession at the two possessions
played
at the
two
third
possessions.
grade.
at the
at the end of
third
the third
game.
game.
So essentially, he came in at the fourth.
And split
game of
time in the
season.
Missouri
So-
game after that.
And-
Man, I'm with you. I think we can play LSU close because they're going to be looking ahead, and Ole Miss is going to be playing with. We have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Let's go in there. They'll be fired up. It's going to be a home game, and
I
the
got-
other
I got-
thing you got to you got to look at is it is Ole Miss LSU. There
That's
is
true.
a rivalry there. It's a rivalry game. It's one of those games you kind of have to throw out the records. You have to throw out because we've seen a lot of crazy things happen over the years
There was.
in that game. So it's
To my
it's
daddy's
set up.
generation, that is the rival. Mississippi
Yeah.
State ain't even the rival
Yeah,
to my
that's
daddy's
true.
generation. It's Ole Miss LSU, Billy Cannon, that stuff. But here's the
It
thing
could
you
be
ain't thought
set
about.
up for a little bit of a problem for LSU.
Check this out. I got you a new wild card for the Ole Miss Rebels.
All right.
Coming into this week's game and next week's game, thoughts were up until today that if we lose out, they'll get rid of Matt Luke. Boy, if we can lose out, guess what? Ole Miss said Matt Luke's getting another year. So now Ole Miss don't have to play dead in the Western. They can actually play because if you lose, he ain't going nowhere. No way. You might as well win.
Yeah.
Okay? So there's your another wild card. LSU, I'm just telling you, go toes wrong. Here you go. Here you go.
Look, he has been so excited this week. He's not had a shirt on any.
And no one has understood a word he said.
No.
Well, actually, they did understand a little bit of what he said in the locker room.
Oh, my gracious.
That was
Oh,
something.
my gracious. Yeah, but hey, and to every
man.
Alabama fan
That's
out
crazy.
there, and Cody Tucker sitting here, y'all got all up. I can't believe that he'd use that like your coach has the filthiest mouth of any
Yes.
human being on
He
the
does.
face of this earth, and we not mad at him about it. But let's don't act like y'all ain't heard that. You heard that from your own coach.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Does Nick Saban know the Lord? Only in vain."
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Anyway,
I'm just going to end with this. I mean, you went there. You went there, and you know where I'm going. But, if things don't work out for Ole Miss, they lose the next two games. Just tell me.
I'm
real
going to throw
quickly,
your
does-
computer in the fire if you say what I think you're going to say. If you say what I think you're going to say, you're a Democrat and you love Hillary.
No.
You're finna bring Hugh Freeze back. That's what's on your mind. That is what's on your mind.
We got to get him before somebody else does.
We don't. Where we at? Cause of him. Oh my gracious.
I'm just saying.
Hugh
he's
Freeze,
doing
if you're
good at
listening,
Liberty.
huh?
He's doing pretty good at Liberty.
Look.
He really could have got forgiveness.
Hey, and listen, we ain't talking
I
about
believe he
spirituality.
has.
There's a lot of great men of God can't coach football. I ain't worried about him being right with God.
He can coach
He's-
football.
He's been the greatest coach
Gracious.
in my lifetime.
I mean, I'm glad he's gone.
You
I know you're glad he's gone, but here's the thing.
know what
But he's
about
good.
that? Ask Nick Saban. I saw it on the interview. They said, "You're the coach. You're the coach that every program in America models after." They say, "What program would you like to be like? What coach would you like?" Nick Saban. You're the man. Who is your coach? Who would you pick? You know what he said? Hugh Freeze.
You know why?
Nick
Because he's a
Saban.
good cheater. He just don't know how to do it without getting caught.
Yeah, I have no issue with people cheating. Don't bother me none. You just
don't?
can't. You got to do it right.
Kevin Bearfield, did you just say that you would take Hubert Freeze, who put our program 15 years in the hole?
All right. I just think that there's a lot more there than what's being laid out right here. I think there were issues with Ross Bjork. I think Ross and I think our chancellor threw Hugh under the bus, and here's why. Ross was looking at leaving. The only way that Ross Bjork has a future is if he doesn't have to go down for all of the wrongdoing that happened in that program.
True.
So there has to be a fall guy. Hugh made some mistakes, no question about it. I'm not standing
Hugh
up.
run around with the wrong
he
woman
did,
like
he did,
Samson,
he-
got his hair cut,
he
lost his
did,
power,
he did.
and he's at liberty.
He did, but look,
Bad
so
situation.
and I'm not trying. I know you're going to say, "Oh, I cannot believe you did this," but I mean, the man did make a mistake.
He
I
made
mean,
a few bad phone calls, yes.
it was sin. He messed up. Yeah,
Yep.
but so did David. in the Bible.
Here we go.
He still got
Yeah.
the big
Dave,
team.
what team
Yep.
David coach? I just want to know what team. What team David didn't even have to have a team. He went down
He's
there
a
by
man
himself and
after-
took care of the
He was a
Philistines.
man after God's own heart.
Right, but we talking football.
So we are talking football. So all I'm saying is,
He did
you
have
got-
400 mighty men. Hey,
You gotta give Hugh credit. I mean, look at what he did for our program.
right, look where we're at. I mean,
say
what
bring
a
him
great
back.
job, you.
Bring them back. What a story of restoration.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I'm telling you,
Story of great
Oh, and some
minds.
new
everybody-
English versions where y'all
everybody
at.
thinks that's not
Oh, it's
within the
happening.
realm of
Oh,
possibility.
it's going to happen.
But yeah, if
You
Matt,
know it's gonna
if
happen.
Matt Luke ends up gone, and I'm not advocating that he needs to be. You know, all of Ole Miss Nation is going to scream and cry to bring Hugh Freeze
He's
home.
coming
Yes.
back. There's no
They're
doubt.
going to scream and cry to bring him home.
And Matt Luke's going to be our athletic director.
Let me throw this out at
No, he's not.
Is Ole Miss getting in the bowl game?
All right, whoa, I'm glad you brought this up.
All right.
Watch this.
All right.
Everybody ready for this one? I'm ready.
All right, you
A
ready?
few years ago,
All right.
Mississippi State ended the year with 5 wins. Whoop, we ain't got enough 6-win teams. So they did an academic deal. And Mississippi State got in the bowl game with 5 wins based on high academics. But only to come to find out last year, they had them academics because the tutor was taking all the football team's tests. And they on probation now. But anyway, I saw that. That's a side note. It has nothing to do with what you asked. Now, Ole Miss wins against LSU or Mississippi State and gets to 5 wins. It's already said there's not going to be enough 6-win teams, and Ole Miss would be one of the top teams. We could go, can you imagine this? Watch this now. We win 5 games, we go bowling. Matt Luke stays as the Ole Miss head coach. Here it is, Kevin.
We bring
Hugh Freeze becomes the new athletic director at Ole Miss.
Never happened.
This is my fault.
He can control his own burner cells.
Yeah, but they won't
This
bring
is
him
my
back
fault.
as an athletic director.
Liberty is 6-4 right now.
Oh,
We're gonna play
What
them.
if Ole Miss and
And
Liberty
Liberty
chose to play each other in a bowl game?
Wow, that would be awesome.
that would.
That
Well, that's
would be
going to
aw-
happen.
That would be
You
awesome.
just prophesied that.
That would be an awesome game
I'd love to see that.
because they could easily get. I mean, they could easily win
I'd
one more.
probably
and
go
get
for Hugh
7.
Freeze.
I just know this weekend with the LSU game. I just hope Brother Brian's family. that way we don't see this killing us coming.
I got to go to film school.
Yep.
I got to go to film school.
Oh, this has been a great podcast.
This
Oh,
is
it
great.
has. It's been great.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
tuning in.
Thank you for having us.
Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. It's your time now. Be a legend.